looks like it's going to be another day at Blues Creek Guitars. And again, thank you for your support. My friend Glenn is behind the camera, and no luthiers were hurt in the filming of this video. Yeah. Okay, this is a new product, and it goes in with bending. We redesigned the Ukulele Bender, and it still does bend ukuleles, but now it also will bend guitars. Now, short of actually bending everything, I just want to show you the basic setup. When you order this machine, it will come in two configurations, a standard and the cutaway. So what you will get, you'll get two sets of blankets and slats. One for the ukulele, one for the regular guitar. You also get the pattern of your choice. Remember, that hole does not get a tube, so don't worry about that. That's your pinning bowl. So it's quite obvious that this goes in here and you can bend your ukuleles. Really simple, hold down, slat, and blanket. But here's what's really neat. Now, I can take a guitar form and I can put the guitar form in here. And this is a modified guitar form. Because I have that many now, I have to try to save space. I actually have an insert, so when I do my own, I can do the cutaway or the standard. And for this demonstration, this is going to work out really, really nice. So, ukulele is going to get bent the same way as the guitar. You can see the pinning bolts in here. The one thing that makes this different, and we'll go through that, is first we're going to do the standard side. So we'll put our standard, and go along with me, we're going to have water and wet paper and wood, and this would be my bending sandwich. That goes in here, and we're actually going to do some bending updates shortly, so that will actually do. So I'll put my slat in here. I will measure from the center of the slot out here so that I get my position for when I have my side in there, so I get it centered and I have it set up for getting ready for the mold. So, with this being in here, alright, I'm going to put this in here for friendly friction, just like we did before. We changed the design of the hold down a little bit, not so much, just that it made it easier to produce these in the quantity that we need to make them now. So, again, I just go in, and I put my springs on, and I kind of got to work a little backwards here, so if I seem a little awkward, I am. So, bending process is still going to be the same. I'm going to work this over, and I bring it over nice and easy when it's ready to bend. And this keeps coming down, and you don't want to just slam it down. And I'm kind of working a little awkward here, so please. Stunt double. And that's about the way that I actually will bend it. A little bit more comfortable on the side. But you can see how nice this is forming. Now on the front, you can pull this over. And again, I just walk it down. And you'll notice when I drive the ramp, see how this is pulling tight on the side. And that way you get a very nice, uniform bend. Then, once you're done doing your cycling, and here we can talk about, generally my heats are going to be around 240, 250 to the lower bout, 270 Fahrenheit to the upper bout. Drive the waist, and then you want to take it up to about 325. Turn your timer controller to variable. Dial in about 220, 250 degrees for 15 minutes. That sets the bend, gets the water out of it, then you take it apart. Now, if we were doing a cutaway, so we're going to do a cutaway, and you notice these holes here. If you buy a standard machine, you can upgrade to the cutaway at any time. Now if you look close, I don't know if you can see it, but this is offset. And the reason that it's offset, that affords you more opportunities for the different cutaway designs. Not all cutaways are the same. So this is set up that you can do multiple different cutaways. So if we were going to be doing this, we're going to set up our cutaway. And I know this one has to go this way. From experience, I know that this one fits this way. But I would tell you to do a dry fit and a dry run, just that you kind of get a feel for the mechanics of what this machine is. Okay, so now, this is actually the prototype cutaway ram that I had made 20 years ago. And I mean, this poor thing has seen better days. I wore out one press screw on it. Okay. So you can see, I run that through, so boom, you're there. How tight you make this, I just like to have it snug enough that it's not going to fall over on me. So if we're ready to bend and the temperature's where I want it, you're making 2 bends at one time. I tell people, go get a 2x4, make it level here, or you use your hand, and you're going to do the 2 bends at once. So I'm going to be holding this up. Now remember, it's going to be hot, so I would be wearing a glove. And you can see, this will come around, and it'll start bending this bend first, but you're holding this up. You're bending both at one time. And you can see how this is now picked up. I don't have to hold it anymore. All I'm going to do is kind of help finesse this a little bit. And now, right here, I'm against my pattern. I'm just going to finish my heat cycle, let it come cool down, and then I can take this apart and we'll have our cutaway bend. I'll actually be bending a cutaway later on the old forms, but you'll get to see how this works. So that is how this little guy can actually bend guitar. Now, I'll just take this apart, and it's nothing outside of what you've done or saw before. Now usually when I take a cutaway out, I'll loosen this because you run a risk of damage when you take these out with the spring back. So now I'll pull this back up and this will slide right on the slat, but I don't want the wood to come up yet. So I'll hold that down, take this off, now I can back the waist up. So now with the waist backed up, this backed up, I can actually work my bolt out. Now I can watch up here that I don't overstress that point. Then this should all walk out. That way you can get your side out without having the force popping up. You can also take small nails and capture the bottom slat here at the tubes and keep the bottom slat from pushing up and bouncing back your cutaway. That's it. Then this can come apart. And your side would be in there. So that is how this little guy works. And this guy can bend from the big guitars to the soprano. And that is the new product. You'll see a little bit more detailed. All you got to do is look up Ukulele Bender or Deluxe Bender on YouTube, and you're going to see how this actually runs. But this is that unit. And again, remember, that's your pinning bolt. Same way here. So that's the new bending machine. Feel free to ask any questions at any time. From my shop to yours. Thank you.